January 8th, 2025. I sincerely hope all is well with you. My Facebook feed has been filled up to the brim with wildfire photos out of the Pacific Palisades in California. It's real unfortunate that I do know a good amount of people that are in that area. It was really nice to see some people even reach out to me asking, hey, is your family okay? They doing good out there? I'm like, well, they're about an hour south of where the Pacific Palisades are at, so they're fine. My friends Matt and Jose, they're in downtown LA. They've been sending videos and photos and all of that of the smoke taking over downtown LA as if that area was already bad enough as it is. Now we got to add even more wildfire smoke to that area. Oh, I think my friend Jose did text say it was like breathing into an ashtray or something like that. But they're hanging out. They're hanging in there. They seem to be doing okay. But there's this one place that I think unfortunately got ravaged by the wildfires was this place called Murphy's Ranch. It was one of the coolest hiking spots. I've been there a couple of times. You would go down all these steps to this little valley area. And sure enough, there was this compound that was there that's been there since the 1940s. This couple, they had this giant compound with different cages. I'm not going to go into detail as to why, but there's some sick, twisted history behind this place that I can't really talk about on the air, but they had this compound with cages and all this stuff, and sure enough, well, they abandoned that whole facility. They abandoned that compound, and people have been putting their graffiti art all over it ever since. Bands have done photo shoots down there. It's been a cool place to see. And I'm sure that place burnt down. Real unfortunate. There was a really eerie video that I showed Victor this morning of some guy with his friend and a dog trapped in a house, and the flames are just engulfing the whole house. Like it's all around them. But I really hope everyone can get evacuated. My friend Ryan, who works at Coast 103.5, he was supposed to be my next guest on the podcast that I'm starting up, but he has to evacuate, so he won't be able to join for at least a couple weeks until he can get everything sorted out, so it really does suck. What also sucks is that I would say, hey, get a hold of me at 208-535-1015, but the phones are still down. It's not our issue. It's an external issue. So, yeah, we'll see how traffic school goes this Friday, powered by the Advocates at 8:45. I think if the phones are still down then, Victor did say he will go live on Facebook or whatever social media platform he decides to go live on. So we'll keep you updated with how the phones go and how that all turns out in the next few days. I'll be right back with some more Peaches Pit Party here in just a few. I'm sure Victor talked about this one. Rolling Stone, they took on the challenge of ranking the 50 best video games of all time. And Rolling Stone notoriously they're just overall bad at lists. And I mean bad. Didn't they list Taylor Swift as like the 8th best guitarist of all time, or was that someone else? But still, every list they've put out there has been very, very weird with what they put on there. So this one, the top 10, we're not going to rank all 50. Let's look at like the top 5. Number 1, the best video game of all time. They have The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I never myself got into the Zelda games, never cared for them. And that game came out in 2017. Wouldn't you think there would be a much better game compared to that one as number 1 all time? Tetris at number 2, which is completely different from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, came out in 1989. I figured that one would be way high up on the list. Grand Theft Auto 5, number 3. Super Mario World, number 4. The Last of Us at number 5. I don't have a PlayStation, haven't had a PlayStation for many years, so I never got the chance to play The Last of Us. But, the top 5, in my opinion, I might need to ask this for an online exclusive to Peach Their Own question today. What would you consider are the 3 all-time greatest video games? Don't try to call in. The phones are still down. I'm sorry. 208-535-1015. I know. I miss hearing the listeners, too. Miss having people on the show with me. I might have to go, if we're talking about like the best, most impactful, Minecraft would have to be in the top 3. Fortnite would have to be in the top 3. Grand Theft Auto 5, definitely. I think that's my 3. Fortnite, Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto 5. Those 3 are the most popular, most played of all time. Man, that's a ton of games. If you want to check out the list, go to Rolling Stone's website, look at it for yourself. So people on TikTok are starting this trend called No Buy 2025, which essentially means, hey, completely cut out non-essential shopping, no new clothes, shoes, makeup, home decor, etc. No buying coffee at coffee shops, you make your own. But things like groceries, toiletries, healthcare items, commuting costs, utility bills, rent, mortgages are exempt from the no buy rule. Can you imagine if you tried telling your landlord, hey, no buy 2025, bro. I'm not paying rent this month. All of a sudden you get that magical note on your front door, hey, you're being evicted. But I kind of like this because I've been following this for a little while now. I've been telling myself, you know what? Because I think it was the tail end of last year, I was getting that urge to go onto Hot Topics website and buy more band shirts or go to, I don't know, the band's website itself and try my best to get more band shirts just because I need more shirts other than the 6 that I usually wear. And, you know, I was like, Christmas is around the corner. I'll just wait for that. And sure enough, I got 4 new band shirts from my parents and 2 new pairs of jeans, which I'll be wearing these in addition to the only other 6 shirts that I usually wear, which kind of stinks because when I put out videos of myself, I can tell I'm wearing the same shirt from one video to the next one. It's a limited wardrobe, people. I'm saving money. Getting nice and heavy with Synestia, Disembodied Tyrant, Death Empress. You can only really hear that here on K-Bear. No other radio station is going to play a song like that. I can guarantee you that. Unless you pay for liquid metal or something like that, you know? Which I found out, by the way, that it's a small world when it comes to radio. I don't know if you're familiar with Cannonball 101, but the voice guy for Cannonball, Pete, he is an awesome, awesome dude, first of all, but I'm starting this podcast called Talking Between the Songs, and it's all about interviewing people within the radio and voiceover world and all of that, and so I figured he would be one of the best guests I could get, a perfect guest, because not only does he do voiceover for radio stations across the country, he's also blind, and he surfs, and he's an author. He destroys everything. Like, he's so talented at what he does. I found out he's also the voice of Sirius XM Liquid Metal. I found that out during the interview. I mentioned Jose Metal Ambassador Mangan in the interview, and he goes, oh, yeah, I know Jose. I've known him since like 1999, 2000. I'm the voice of Liquid Metal, which is something really cool to say. I mean, imagine saying you're the voice of a radio station. That would be such a fun gig. And it was crazy hearing his hectic schedule. I'm excited to finally reveal that podcast, get those episodes out there. Once I get more people to join me on the show, it's real unfortunate. Like I mentioned at the beginning part of the show, my friend Ryan, who's the co-host on Coast 103.5 for the LNK morning show, he's been in radio for 20, 30 years, something like that. But the fires, the Pacific Palisade fires, are about to get his house, unfortunately. Well, we'll see. I'm hoping they don't. But he did say he was pretty close to evacuation when I texted him earlier, so I'm hoping that he can, there's no problems, there's no issues, he can just stay where he's at. But man, that fire sucks. Even scrolling Facebook now, just seeing pictures of red everywhere in Southern California. I made sure my family's doing okay. They're just fine. They're in the Orange County area, so they're farther south. So they're doing good. But yeah, once I get that podcast started, I'll make sure to post about it. If you really want to nerd out when it comes to all things radio, that's the podcast for you. And this right here is your Shot Clock Sports Update. 2-time All-Pro and 2-time rushing champ Ezekiel Elliott is getting one more shot at an elusive Super Bowl ring. Elliott, who asked for his release from the Cowboys last week, has now signed with the LA Chargers and will join them for practices ahead of their playoff matchup with the Houston Texans on Saturday. Elliott went to the playoffs 4 times with the Cowboys, but never made it past the divisional round. NFL fans should give the Pittsburgh Steelers some credit. The last time the team had a losing record in the regular season was in 2003, which is not too shabby, right? This year, once again, they're in the playoffs, but for the second year in a row, they're 10-point underdogs in the wild card round on Saturday night. The Steelers will play in Baltimore as heavy underdogs. If they win, it will be the biggest postseason upset in 5 years. But again, give them credit. The Steelers always seem to be in the mix. And last but not least here, I got some golf news. Just because it's cold and snowy almost everywhere doesn't mean we can't dream of warm weather stuff like golf. The 2025 LIV Golf schedule has been announced, and it features 14 tournaments in 9 countries and 6 stops in the U.S. The LIV Golf schedule opens in February in Saudi Arabia ends with a championship in August at the Cardinal at St. John's in Plymouth, Michigan, which opened in June 2024. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. Let's say you're running late to the airport and you want to make it there before they close the gate and you have to go on another flight, essentially. Wouldn't you think, if I need to get to the airport, that the self-driving car would be one of the last things you'd want to get into? You would kind of save that towards, I don't know, maybe some day where you have more time and you can see how good or how great the self-driving car is. But this guy, he recorded himself essentially trapped in the back of one of those Waymo self-driving cars. The car just started driving in a massive circle around the parking lot. It wasn't going all that fast. If I were him, I would have just jumped out, but I could see why he wouldn't, because maybe the car would then just glitch even more so and run you over in a way. But yeah, I don't know if this guy ended up not making his flight because of this, but I did see the video not that long ago. Dude's just recording himself. The car's driving around, driving around the parking lot like no big deal. But again, wouldn't you not want to take the self-driving car? Wouldn't you do that stereotypical thing of going to the nearest, I don't know, taxi, or plan ahead and get your Uber, plan your Uber accordingly to where you can get to the airport on time? I think this whole situation could have been avoided. This whole thing could have been avoided if he just decided to get an Uber or leave for the airport earlier. There you go. K-Bear 101, with the arrival of winter, cold and flu season is in full swing. I saw a ton of people around the Christmas time saying they were sick for the holidays, which absolutely sucks. East Idaho News posted this article for their Ask a Doctor feature about steps you can take to reduce your risk of getting sick. And I figured, you know what? I'll learn this along with you. The first step is to take daily supplements, vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc. They can help support immune function. I think I have a bottle of vitamin D pills that are in studio right behind me here. Another tip here to reduce your risk of getting sick is to do your very best to get that 7 to 8 hours of sleep, maintain a healthy diet, stay hydrated, all common sense stuff. I was eating fast food a ton right before the holidays, and I just did not feel good at all. I didn't go to the gym. Luckily, I joined that army of people right at the time of the new year and said, you know what, my resolution is to lose weight, and I've been going to the gym a lot more, avoiding fast food, eating my meal prep, and I've been feeling a lot better. That little step can really help you out. So if you want more information about these steps to avoid getting the flu this winter, simply go to eastidahonews.com. Go to their features tab there. The Ask the Doctor feature, the story is right there on that page. Years ago, my family decided to get me a Hulk Hogan mini statue. Is that what you even call it? It's a 3-foot tall little thing of Hulk Hogan. And back then I was huge into wrestling, loved Hulk Hogan. And now, after seeing Monday Night Raw and seeing him get booed big time by Los Angeles and the sort of reputation he has now, I'm thinking, do I really want to keep this in my apartment? Or do I want to just say, hey, Mom, Dad, can you guys take this back? Put it in my old bedroom and keep it there? It is kind of weird to have as a near 30-year-old because, you know, dudes like to for some reason collect weird things. I talked about it before. My friend Levi, like last week, got a Subway sign and hung it up in his bedroom. Jade was making that joke with me when I told him about the story about my friend getting the Subway sign. He was like, well, you know, girls like to have the live, laugh, love, the nice home decor. Dudes, we like to collect fast food signs, apparently, or other weird trinkets. I mean, you hear Victor all the time talk about how he has weird things all over his house, and he truly does. He truly does. He's not making that up. A lot of people are fake on the air and make up a whole lot of stuff. Victor's definitely himself. And those weird trinkets all around his house. Maybe he'll have to do a house tour for the K-Bear 101 YouTube channel, but I don't think he wants to reveal where he's at. You know, some people would show up and just knock on his door. I don't know what they would do. They'd probably request a song. Knowing our awesome listeners, I feel like they show up to Victor's Ring doorbell and go, can you play more Slayer on K-Bear? Thanks. And just walk away from there. Well, I would have to peach their own today, but what is this? Day 3 that we don't have our phones working here in studio, which sort of sucks. And by sort of, I mean big time sucks because I want to hear your answers on the air. This is a great question. It's based off the list that we talked about earlier of Rolling Stone's top 50 best video games of all time. If you didn't hear that break, number 1 was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Number 2, Tetris. 3, Grand Theft Auto 5. They had those 3 listed as the best video games of all time. And I wanted to hear what you have to think about, or what you have to say about this. What do you think is the best video game of all time? Jared, first guy to answer my question on the Facebook group, K-Bear 101 Idaho Rock and Metal, put Red Dead Redemption 2. I kind of agree. I think that's a great game, all-time classic. Halo Reach from Charlie, which I would say Halo 3 is better than that one. Halo Reach was decent, but I remember the two games that were huge back when I was in middle school. Halo 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Not that second Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Don't confuse it for that one. The first one that was released back in like 2008. All my friends were playing that game. So if you want to answer today's question, unfortunately you can't call in since the phones are still broken, but you can answer by going to the Facebook group or by going through the app on the mic icon. What would you say is the best video game of all time? Peach's Pit Party on K-Bear 101. Sucks to see all the news about the wildfires over in Southern California. Saw here that all the hotels in Los Angeles are packed to the gills because of just so many people having to leave their homes and find at least a place to stay at while the fire hopefully gets contained in the near future. The Santa Ana winds are no joke. Those wind gusts are crazy, and those will power those fires big time, big time. And yeah, I'm glad people are reaching out to me, asking me about my family. I'm like, hey, they're doing just fine. They're in Orange County. They're okay. I mean, if for some reason, if there ever is a threat, I'm like, hey, you guys drive up on here to East Idaho and join me. Be in my apartment. I don't care. I miss having them around. Yeah, and then, I told my friends the same thing who are in the LA area. One of my friends is actually in Inglewood, so I'll have to text him to see if he's okay. One thing that I saw that was really cool is that Planet Fitness, all of their locations in Southern California have said, hey, if your home has been affected by the fires, you're more than welcome to use the showers here. You're more than welcome to use our facilities for whatever you need necessary. I thought that was extremely cool to see. And I've been getting updates left and right about it because I follow a lot of radio stations over in California that I used to listen to before I moved out here, and I like to see what they're up to. And sure enough, every post all about the fires, which sucks, but I'm hoping at least in the near future we can see a post about it being 100% contained and people can go back to their homes. And oh man, it's devastating. My hopes are not high, but I am hoping tomorrow that the phones will work. I'm hoping so I can do an actual to peach their own segment and actually get the chance to chat with you guys about your answers. And today's question was all about what do you think is the best video game of all time? I found the perfect question for tomorrow. What was the best concert you've been to? Who did you see? I saw this one pop up in Ask Reddit, and I figured that was a nice positive one. Top answer, The Who in 1982. It was in Indianapolis and was a huge deal. I was actually shown on local TV buying a T-shirt with my soon-to-be wife. We both still have those T-shirts. That's adorable. Adorable, really. Concerts make for awesome memories, for sure. And I remember my very first rock show, AC/DC, back in 2008 at the Forum with my dad, and he got the chance to high-five Brian Johnson. Angus Young was doing his solo right there. We walked down the catwalk, made his way to the very end, and that platform lifted up above to then he was doing, his typical Angus Young thing, and he headbanged, and all of his sweat went all over me and the people around me. And I still remember that. One of the coolest moments ever. I got sweated on by Angus Young, out of all people. Little Angus Young. That would make for a great picture. I idolized that dude growing up, and he stands at 5'2". Me standing next to him in a photo. I would get that thing blown up, framed, and it would stay in my house on the wall forever. In case you haven't heard, our sister channel Z103, they have teamed up with Mountain View Hospital's new NICU to look for Idaho's #1 baby bump once again. If you're rocking that baby bump, send in your baby bump photo to any one of the apps that we have here. You can actually send it through the K-Bear app, the Alt app, or Cannonball app. If you go to the app, if you open up the app right now and you go to the menu, it says Z103 baby bump right there on the left-hand side. You click on that. It'll take you to the form to fill out. And once you've filled out the form with your baby bump photo and all of that, let's hope you win, because you'll win all that stuff for the nursery. You'll win the newborn photo shoot as well, which is a bonus compared to the previous years, which I thought was pretty cool because, all that stuff rather expensive. And we want to make it easier for you to have that kid. And so let's hope you sign up for Idaho's #1 baby bump with our sister channel Z103 and Mountain View Hospital's new NICU. You can use the apps right now. Make sure to sign up before it's too late. Well, the wildfires have been talked about quite a lot during this show over in the Pacific Palisades in Southern California, and it looks like the legendary Rose Bowl Stadium is in imminent danger. And I have plans in April to go see AC/DC and the Pretty Reckless over at that venue, so I wonder, I really hope it doesn't get burnt down. Even though I hate that venue, I'll never wish anything to be harmed ever like that, I see a lot of people commenting dumb stuff on Facebook saying, who cares? It's California. Who cares? That type of stuff. It's gross to say something like that. But the Rose Bowl Stadium, I'm not the biggest fan. It's a legendary venue. It's a legendary piece of Los Angeles history. And it's in imminent danger because of the fires. And I don't know what's going to happen if that venue gets destroyed in the fire. Maybe they move to another venue. I really hope they don't cancel the show altogether, but we'll see. I mean, that show's not all the way until April. And that's one of the last few huge venues in Southern California. I mean, there's other venues around, but the Rose Bowl can hold like 80,000 people. You can maybe go to SoFi Stadium. I've never been to SoFi Stadium. I don't think I've even been close to it. It was built after I left Southern California, so maybe I'd prefer the show to be there, but I've also prefer the Rose Bowl to be totally fine and the fires to be completely, gone. Victor, unfortunately, hasn't put out that list yet. He's been rather busy with a bunch of other tasks above the top 50 most played songs on K-Bear. Now, I thought it was 100 most played songs, but just top 50. And we already talked about the top 3, which I forgot number 2 and number 3 already. But I do know number 1 is Sleep Theory's Fallout for most played in 2024 on K-Bear. I think number 2 was Nothing More's If It Doesn't Hurt. I think. And then 3 might have been Violence Against Nature from Bad Omens and Poppy. Once Victor does put the list out there, we'll make sure to keep you updated on the air. Keep an eye out on our social media pages at KBear 101 FM on all platforms. It's best not to road rage. This Maryland driver, a very rare case of road rage paying off. He was rudely cut off by another motorist, but instead of getting angry and turning it into a road rage incident, he turned it into a $500,000 jackpot. He was on the highway, another driver just cut in front of him. He took a mental note of the other driver's license plate and remembered the numbers, so he went to a liquor store and just purchased 10 take 5 lottery tickets with those exact numbers. The numbers came up. Each ticket was a $50,000 winner, bringing his total haul from the 10 tickets to $500,000. This article suggests maybe he should thank the other driver by tossing him a few bucks. I mean, if he really wanted to, sure, but yeah, it's best not to road rage. All right? I've been flipped off a couple of times on the road, and one of those times somebody flipped me off. They had a K-Bear sticker on the back of their car, and I will never forget that. I should have brought this up on the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem powered by Jalisco's today. I just talked about road rage, as a matter of fact, too. My friends and I were having this debate in the Discord call. We usually talk about things like this, and this just so happened to have popped up at the time. Our friend's dad decided to follow a car that was swerving in and out of the lane, and he calls 911 to basically say, hey, I'm reporting a drunk driver, and proceeded to follow that car for a long ways, right? It was that scenario versus our other friend's mom, who road raged so hard at somebody. I guess they went over a double yellow to pass them or something like that. I don't know, but she was so mad she followed that person all the way to their stop in one, and I forgot where they were at, but she then proceeds to get out of the car at the same time as that lady in order to yell at her about what mistake she had made. And one of our friends was adamant that the dad was making the wrong move instead of his own mom. And I was like, no, I think it's certainly your mom. That's worse in that scenario. For road raging, that bad at somebody to follow them. Like, usually you just let it go. I myself, I don't road rage like I used to at all. I just go, you know what? It is what it is. Somebody cuts you off. It's no big deal. Maybe they're in a hurry. At least you didn't get hit and, that sort of thing. But I also worry about the one time if I ever do road rage or something like that, magically it's the big boss man's car or something, Or it could be some loyal listener of the show and they're all distraught, like Peaches yelled at me on Sunnyside Road. I'm not listening to K-Bear again, that type of thing. There could be a Life in Idaho Falls Facebook group. Peaches was mad at me on the road today, crying on Facebook. Be safe out there. Don't be dumb. K-Bear 101. Yesterday, I decided to go check out or go see if there was any copies at all of the DVD, The Zen of Screaming. It's this famous teacher, Melissa Cross. She teaches people how to do extreme metal vocals, and she's quite good at it. She's taught a lot of famous musicians, including Will Ramos of Lorna Shore and many others. But I was thinking, you know what? If I really want to get serious about this pursuit of trying to at least understand and how to do basic metal vocals, I have to get this DVD. So I found it for $15 off of Thrift Books. I think I was supposed to get the DVD and CD, but the condition said good, so I'm guessing overall I'm getting somebody's copy that they didn't treat well. Everywhere else I checked, $40, $50 for this DVD. I'm like, you know what? I'll take it for $15 in good condition. And we'll see. We'll see if how it all turns out. I did see some mixed reviews online about it, saying it's the best thing they've ever gotten. There was other people saying, well, you should definitely meet Melissa in person if you want to get serious about your metal vocals. But according to Victor, it's one of the best things you can get for your vocal practice, how to warm up and such. I've been really wanting to get serious about this for quite some time. The only problem is I don't want to practice in my apartment. I'm afraid if I start screaming in there, one of the neighbors will complain or something like that. I'll have to drive around town practicing my metal screams. Thanks for listening to Peaches Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoy the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peaches Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.